I think the greatest takeaway from today was the partnership and eagerness to partner. You had folks from government, from the community, and from healthcare that are solving very challenging problems on a daily basis, and they need tools to better connect with each other. And the eagerness to engage, figure out those workflows, and leverage the platform to solve those problems in real time, knowing that the first iteration of something doesn't mean that you have to stay there. Their willingness to continue to innovate and figure out ways that provide a seamless experience for those that are seeking care. I think with Unite Georgia, the uniqueness comes from the community and government really being the influential members of the network. Whereas historically, you might see a health plan or a health system be that anchor organization. Government in Georgia has really leaned in to working with their community partners and trying to solve these problems as a collective, and then pulling healthcare into it. I think it was from Commissioner Ross with the Department of Veteran Services on being proactive. She asked the question of how many people in the room would love to solve needs for the individuals that they serve before it becomes crisis, and every hand shot up. What she's doing to leverage predictive analytics to get ahead of problems, ask questions, be proactive, has allowed that network to thrive and to help the 700,000 veterans in the state of Georgia. We've been playing around with the idea of having these regional One Continuums, and I think today validated why we wanted to do it. Because you get these partners in a room, the excitement level, they're solving problems in real time, and it's not just a technology conversation, it's real world issues, everything from policy to grants to funding to populations that have unique needs that they have to address that they don't feel comfortable solving alone. They come together, and so the localness of our work was validated in today's One Continuum. As a veteran, I am encouraged that we have the Commissioner Rosses of the world. I think her and her team don't have boundaries in how they provide the services. And so the example that they gave today of a veteran that was a single mother, 3 children, was having some housing issues. They thought outside the box. And the benefit of the Unitas network is you can pull in resources maybe that are outside the state. And so they were able to address a need with an organization from Maryland within a 72-hour span that solved some very critical needs that this veteran was having of staying employed and making sure her kids had a sufficient roof over their head. They think outside the box. And so it's exciting when you have leaders like that that leverage technology and leverage the resources available to them to solve problems. I think a lot of folks think of Unitas as just a pure play technology solution, and so they only come to us around the tech. For CBOs that want to participate, we understand that there's a lot of challenges that you have to face. There's workflow, there's lack of funding, there's lack of resources, there's a lack of a lot of stuff. We can do a lot of that legwork. What we've cut our teeth on is building these networks across the country, going the last mile, bringing on your community organizations so that when you make a referral, there's someone on the other side of that. These organizations have a lot of partners that they work with, and they're used to making phone calls and emails and referring people over, but they have to do a manual follow-up or engagement. Leaning on Unite Us, not only as your technology solution, but to help you build these networks and make them streamlined so that it fits your workflow, that fits your team, is what we're here for. And so don't just think of us as the technology solution. Think of us as your trusted partner to do some of the work that takes up your time and engaging with the community. We can do that for you. I think One Continuum New York brings together a lot of leaders across the country where they can share best practices, but also talk about some of the challenges that they run into. And I think both in One Continuum Georgia and then obviously rolling over into One Continuum New York, it's not always just the good stories that are impactful. It's where are the gaps? Where are the things that we can do better? Where can I learn where someone has solved the challenge that I'm dealing with right now? It's sharing those best practices and getting those leaders there to engage. This isn't a situation where we're just bringing folks in to kind of talk about how great Unite Us is. It's truly an opportunity for these leaders across the country to get together, build relationships, and talk about how we can solve problems at scale.